This is what I do for a living. CPTs. Cone penetration testing. And of course the word penetration is incredibly funny for people. You know what is also incredibly funny? That the cones that I use to shove it to the ground to give me measurements of, you know, what the health stuff is made of and how strong it is and things like that, the cones themselves are worth more than my van. This is a CPT cone here. Well, it's the ones that I use. My van cost me what? 2,600 quid, and then there's a bunch of extras to turn it into the camper and stuff like that. Well, not that piece of paper. That is worth more. Nuts. So that leads me on nicely to the next thing. How much did all of this actually cost? Well, like I said, the van cost 2,600 or something like that. So I took out a loan, 6 grand, which is about all I could really afford, to be fair. So you've got a van for 2,000. So all the rest of the kit. So it might be a good time to sort of break down all the gear I've got, why I got it, what it cost, and such. Obviously there was sound deadening and insulation and stuff like that, of which I've obviously done a really good job of. Don't look at the carpet ceiling. I actually got the proper range. I regret doing carpet on the ceiling. Don't do carpet on the ceiling unless you've got patience, which I don't. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that you sort of need. You know, you want power, you want other stuff, right? So when it comes to getting power into your van, there's usually 2 options that I see quite a lot. People with the sort of split charge relay thing, an inverter and all this stuff, and solar. Now, I couldn't have solar because I have a tent box. I've got a tent box on top, so it kind of like not vetoed, what's the word? Sort of bollocks to any chance I had of getting solar panels, which, you know, I'm fine because they're really expensive. And then I had this idea of, well, what if all the stuff I get for it I can remove? Like, because if I start wiring things and ripping crap out to put wires in, I'm going to make a mess. And then, you know, if shit hits the fan, which it inevitably does, then I've got to undo all that crap. So anyway, that led me to think, why don't I get one of these fantastical big beefy battery guys? And that's what I got, a fantastical big beefy battery guy. This guy, check him out. Get out the wee cup. That is the Anker Solix C800, right? It has, I mean, I'll have to tell you what it's got because you can kind of see. It has 3 regular power plug guys. It's got 2 USB-Cs and 2 regular USBs and a car socket. It also comes with a wee app that lets you know how much energy you're using, how much time you've got left, all this kind of stuff. And it's great because I'm not going to use electricity all that much, to be fair. I basically want to have like a wee telly or something like that, which I'm about to show you now. So then I got this little tiny computer monitor. This guy. This tiny thin computer monitor, and it comes with, can you see that? Some USBs and a micro HDMI. Has a little stand, right? And you sort of plonk it up like so, and that's you got a telly, right? So you plug that in, USB-C to power it and stuff like that. And I've got like an Amazon Fire Stick, and then I had to buy a wee adapter to turn regular HDMI to wee HDMI, and I plugged that in, and it said, I can't remember how many watts it was using. It was something ridiculously low, but what was really cool is on full charge, it said it would last for 6 days. I can watch telly for 6 days and not run out of power. Who's going to do that? Well, not me anyway, right? So that's brilliant, and it will also charge, full charge, in 58 minutes. 58 minutes. That's less than an hour. They specifically did that, so it'd be less than an hour. Pretty impressive. But, you know, you've got to plug it into an actual bloody plug, which I don't have. I'm just making some coffee. But it does, you can charge it on your cigarette lighter thing, right? Which, I'll be honest, takes fucking ages. It's like your little 12 volt cigarette lighter thing. I think I roughly worked out, I think it was something like 10 minutes of charge gives you 1%. So if you charged it for like just shy of 2 hours, you only get 10%. So it's not great. But in saying that, it's still better than nothing. And if you're using so little when you're plugging in your telly and stuff, it's great. So anyway, the Anker Solix C800, and it has 1,200 watts. It has a peak of 1,600, whatever that means. There's a crow outside. Clearly I can smell my coffee. Oh man, he looks angry. Yeah, so there we go, that's power sorted, kinda. I mean, I can't really power a heater. I do have a sort of backup low energy heater, which is under my seat. I'll see if I can get it right. It's a DeLonghi heater. This is just in case, you know, it gets really, really cold, which, funny enough, in Scotland it does. Oh no, there's so much stuff under here. Oh wait, was that it? Oh yeah, there we go. Look, everything's so easily accessible. This guy, the DeLonghi heater, has a little falling over, turn it off kind of safety mechanism. Doesn't use much, but when you plug that in, it'll kill the battery in about an hour and 45 minutes. So I'll put that back later. I realised I forgot milk. So there we go. The batteries, it's pretty decent. It kind of does what I need it to do for now. I've never had it run out on me so far. It's such a tiny wee space. Yes, it's great to have the inverter and all this kind of stuff, because obviously you don't have to worry too much about it. But this is pretty good, and it's very, very good. My mate who knows more about this was telling me about the new types of batteries that they put in these batteries, and apparently they're great. And I sort of agree. So for me, it works. It works really, really well. Everything has its downsides, but I so far don't have any issues with it. So then the next thing is, I've got my entertainment section with my little battery and all that. What about my kitchen? So you've kind of seen the kitchen before, right? I've got a 2-ring burner. It's called camping gas. It cost me about 40 quid. But it didn't come with the pipe or the regulator. So I had to order a twin regulator, which allows me Calor gas and the wee Coleman things. But like I say, I got the van 3 days before going up north with my mate, and everyone was a bit of a rush. So we headed off up the road with no pipe whatsoever. That's still incredibly hot. So we stopped in Aviemore, went to Tisso's, I think. We got a pipe and we got a regulator, and the pipe was about, I don't know, I'll say a tenner, and the regulator was about the same. But this is it here. That's it there. So I'm cooking I'm boiling some water to make some, surprise, noodles. That cost me 40 quid, see, with the pipe and all that. So like, there you go. Kitchen. How often can you get a kitchen for 60 quid? That's what I've got. So yeah, camping gas, got it from Amazon. Can't complain. Easy to clean. You lift up the wee ring things and all that. I mean, I won't do it now because I'll burn my fingers. But aye, does the job. Can't complain thus far about it. There you go. You see my kitchen. Inevitably, when you have a kitchen, you need to keep food places. One of these places that you keep food needs to be refrigerated in something like a refrigerator. But again, I don't have power. Well, I have that guy. But I again wanted to opt for this whole kind of removable, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, removable thing. So I researched a little bit. I got a cool box. I looked at one of those cigarette lighter fridges, but they were quite expensive, and this actual storage and the amount of stuff you put in them was quite poor for what I kind of needed. And I just thought, oh, it's too much faffing about. So I found this cool box, and it's a really cool box, and it has 24 litres, and it says it will keep ice, can potentially keep ice up to 5 to 7 days. And that's totally not true, because it absolutely cannot do that. I think the longest I've had it keep ice is about 2 days, which is pretty decent, I guess. But after about 24 hours, like, your big bag of ice is turned into largely a puddle and some little bits of ice. But you can keep beers in there, you can keep meat in there, veg, whatever. I've not had a problem with that, and it's about £1 to buy the bags of ice and stuff like that, or you get the little ice packs and you refreeze them and stuff. So it does the job. Oof. That's getting toasty. Yeah, so that costs 70 quid. That's it down there, the cost way. It's got a little thing so you can measure your fish, but it's also got to be cup holders on it, and it's got a little beer bottle opener. And the idea that you can take it out means that on a nice sunny day in Scotland, you can sit on the wee side step here and then just take it out as a wee table, put your wee brewski or your whatever you're having on it, and it doubles up as a table. So again, it's this multi-functionality thing, kind of keeping costs down, trying to be as, I don't know, what would the word for it be? Not hobo. You know, like being as off-griddy as possible. And I know there's people that are doing off-grid a lot better than I am. But I'm doing it as cheap as possible. This is what I'm doing. So yeah, there's my fridge. Yeah. So there you kind of have it. I mean, there's a lot more involved in it, but that's a breakdown of at least a couple of simple things. I'll maybe do a more detailed thing when I'm not at work. That was my lunch break, I did all that. But yeah, I hope it was remotely interesting. More interesting than this.